Welcome back to the channel, guys. Behind me is Mr. Lee's 2023 Escalade V. Previous customer of ours, we built him his C8 Z06. Now he's back with the brand new Escalade V. And he is a car guy, wants weekend toys, but also wants daily drivers that are fast. And the Escalade V is the perfect starting platform for him. Him and his wife enjoy vehicles together. It's really cool to see both of them when they come to the shop. They both get excited about modding the car, so it's cool as shit to see that. But the one behind me, he wanted it to sound cool as well as run good, just like the Z06. So we went with what's called our Stage 2 package, which is cold air, cam, and headers for the gist of it. So let me show you under the hood and let you hear this thing.
Experience the thrill of unrivaled performance. Our team of experts takes your ride to the next level. From horsepower gains to custom enhancements, we deliver results. Late model Racecraft. We talking or we racing?
All right, as previously stated, James and his wife aren't your average car family, I guess. Most people that have a four-door sedan just use it to take the kids to school and back. But in their case, they wanted everyone to be able to hear it, and then they wanted to feel the extra horsepower. So again, just when you pop the hood, looking at it, first thing that pops out is the SMB cold air induction system. We have that on our Stage 1 package as well to start off with. And on this one, going inside the engine, he wanted to be able to pull into car shows and car events and let people know that there was something done to it. So just like all of our other packages, our 800 horsepower and up LT4 stuff, we go inside the engine and do our complete camshaft. So pull the motor apart, complete cam, we change the valve springs and push rods to get that good chop at idle. And of course, while we're there, in this case, we did a long tube stainless steel header. So no one makes headers per se for this exact Escalade V model, the year and make. So we take an American Racing header and then we modify the connection pipes with the high flow cats that leads to the muffler. So it's not just a bolt-on easy exhaust system to do. It does take some extra fit and finish and actual custom exhaust work to make it work right and look good and sound good. But at the end of the day, once we're done with the cold air, headers, and exhaust, we're making the supercharger and the engine more efficient. We gotta spin the supercharger harder. So we change the upper supercharger pulley. Again, it's a daily driver that they're gonna be beaten on heavily with 93 octane. I don't wanna spin the supercharger too hard, but because we make the engine more efficient with the camshaft and the headers and the cold air, we have to spin the supercharger harder just to come back to the level playing field of, let's say, 10 to 11 pounds of boost. Again, I think he's gonna enjoy it like this. I think they're from Austin, Texas, right, Jason? I feel dumb asking you behind the camera, right? So I think they're picking the car up today. They're gonna drive it to a car show this weekend. James and his wife, they're the kind of people that they're gonna enjoy it for probably a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, come back, then we can port the supercharger, put a fuel system on it, turn the boost up even more, and go from, I think we picked up over 150 rear horsepower gain to over 200 and 250 rear horsepower gains, still being reliable. So I'm gonna hop in this thing. I want y'all to hear it. And it's hard to go through the camera, but this thing is such a comfortable car to daily drive. And then when you add the performance to it, it makes it a fun ass car to drive is the best way to describe it. You're comfortable and stoplight to stoplight. You get to play with someone next to you. All-wheel drive, it's hard to beat it. So looking at it from the outside, it does look super clean. We did another one recently, similar color. Y'all see the custom wheels on it. It's got 24s on it with proxies and then also ceramic coating. Yeah, we did the ceramic coating on it. Shit, that was right before this. And then as y'all can see, factory tips. So from the outside, the car still looks stock from the muffler standpoint, just because the tips on the Escalade Vs, they already look like a performance exhaust tip. They look similar to the C8 Corvette tips. We leave those alone and we just change everything in front of the muffler. So from the axle forward is all custom exhaust to make it sound like we're about to hear. For those of you that don't know, the Escalade V comes with the same supercharger as the 19 ZR1. It is a 2650 supercharger. It is a lot larger than the C7 Z06 Corvette or the Cadillac V3s that come with a 1.7 liter supercharger. So this thing already from the factory comes with some big muscles sitting on top of that engine. And we make it even better. Thing sounds wicked for an Escalade, don't it? Golly. Already picked up 135 rear wheel horsepower. It should make like 670. Glad to guess when we're done. 660, 670. Alright guys, we are about to go test drive Mr. Lee's Escalade V. So start it up. I put it in V mode. Maybe I'll show y'all. V mode for performance. That's just for the steering, suspension, and transmission shifting. And then I always go to vehicle information. I already have StabiliTrak and traction control off. Y'all can see you hit the buttons right here to turn them right back on. But just the cool features to show you guys. And also the gauge panel as well. You slide right here, coolant temp, tranny temp, battery voltage, oil pressure. I mean, definitely there's gauges here to see as well. But Guys, I can show y'all cool shit on this car for hours. So I won't bore you with all that kind of stuff, but I do like to share with y'all how badass this vehicle is from just a normal daily driver standpoint to a real performance SUV. The car rides on airbags all the way around, and again, I don't know if y'all can see, but over here is a button to raise it up. Y'all can see right here, ground clearance. We have normal ground clearance, increased ground clearance, and the airbags rise up. And then we can go back down to, I put lowered ground clearance on these 24s. It looks really good while driving. And again, I always put it in V mode, traction control off, stability track off. And we are about to go have some fun. This thing, again, it's a solid 150 rear wheel horsepower gain over factory, with plenty of room to go. As you guys know, if you don't know, the 19 ZR1s, I'm pretty confident we've built the most 19 ZR1s in the world when it comes to adding more horsepower to them. That same supercharger is what is on this platform, so it is like an LT5 2650. So y'all know how much we can make with those 19 ZR1s and how good they run. So this right here, though, to me is the perfect package for you or your wife to drive, to put 93 octane in it and just get in it and go it and enjoy yourselves. Again, Mr. Lee and his wife, they wanted the extra sound with the headers for the exhaust, and also that low bit idle with the camshaft, which separates like our stage 2, stage 3 from our stage 1 package. Our stage 1 package is more of bolt-ons, like an airbox and an upper pulley for a little bit more boost, or we can do an airbox, upper pulley, we port the supercharger, and that will get you close to the same horsepower as this. You just don't get that extra sound with the headers and the camshaft that this thing does. What makes it sound like a performance American muscle car. You pull up to a parking lot or any car show, everyone is gonna know you have something done to this thing. But Mr. Lee can take this and enjoy it, and if he wants some more, he can bring it back. We can port the supercharger, spin the supercharger a little bit harder, and add a fuel system to it. If y'all saw, it says service theft deterrent. While scanning these cars with the MPV3, sorry, a little sidetrack, that does pop up. So it isn't something that's wrong with the car. It's just because we are scanning it. But if he does want more, we can port the supercharger, turn the boost up, add a little bit more fuel system to it, and we can pick up another 100 rear wheel horsepower pretty easily, even on pump gas. Obviously, if we did E85 or race gas, this thing could make 1,000 rear wheel horsepower if we wanted to. And these cars, or SUVs, are all-wheel drive. So that is why y'all saw I'm going to turn traction control off, because this thing's gonna hook and go. Obviously, it's a heavy SUV. Even with the extra horsepower we added to it, we can turn traction control off, stability track off. That way torque management and the bypass valve on these are electronic. Again, just like the 19 ZR1, just like a throttle body on it that controls boost, so it's not mechanical. So for traction control and stuff like that, it's used to pull, the stock computer pulls timing, as well as it'll pull boost automatically just to get the car to hook up. So by turning these off, it helps give us everything we want when we first take off. And again, guys, these 2650 superchargers are super efficient. We aren't spinning this one near as hard as we spin the 19 ZR1s when we're making 1,000 or 1,200 horsepower with those. And I know I said I wouldn't talk a lot about the car, but to have this thing with AC seats, massaging seats, and then to now have the performance sound and the extra horsepower of this thing, it is a hard combination to fight if you want to try to argue with someone on which car could be a better daily driver. Those of you out there, please comment below on what you think would be a better daily driver than this, or if this is what you would choose for a daily driver. But real quick, as always, I want to test everything to make sure everything is nice and safe before they come and pick it up. Incredible how fast this thing accelerates as heavy as this thing is. And also, something I didn't mention earlier, on these new Escalade Vs, it's kind of like the C8s when it comes to the global B network, which means what the ECM and how it is controlled. So these things, we do have to pull the ECMs out of them, send them to HP tuners, they unlock it, which allows me to then tune the computer to make it happy with all the performance mods that we added to it, and still drive like a stock vehicle, and keep it safe and reliable. We have done a lot of these Escalade Vs here lately, and when it comes to the transmissions, the only reason why I bring it up is because we just made the pull, and I'm about to look at the log, is HP tuners can only unlock a few, it's called serve numbers of the TCM. So the Cadillac, let's say, has, I'll just say roughly, let's say 4 to 5 different serve numbers, which means, let's call it like a serial number on the TCM itself, for a specific, like a 2023 Escalade. There could be 4 different numbers, and we don't know that number until we get the vehicle here, pull the TCM out, and actually look at it, okay? And there's only a couple that they can actually unlock. So for the previous cars, or previous SUVs we've done, what I did was, we went to pull them, and it wasn't the right serve number, so I have to locate the serve number. Maybe I shouldn't be telling the whole world this, but we have to locate the TCM that has that correct serve number. Then I have to install it in the vehicle. Then I have to flash it and program it for this said vehicle. Then I have to pull the TCM back out to send it to HP tuners so they can unlock it. Then I reinstall it. Then I can tune the transmission. The only reason why I just told you that long story that maybe Jason may or may not put in this video, because I don't know if I want everyone knowing all that stuff, is that in Mr. Lee's case, we were not able to get a TCM to be able to send off to be unlocked. So right now, I tuned the ECM, which again, this thing runs flawlessly. The only thing that I could not tune was the TCM at this moment, because the TCMs that I needed are not available. So again, there's nothing wrong with it. I just know it can be faster because I can raise the shift point. It already shifts good. Even y'all saw how great it just shifted right there, even with the stock TCM file in it. But it could run quicker because, let's say right here, the 1-2 shift is at 6,000 RPMs, where I would like it to be around 6,600 RPMs. But even so, this thing, yeah, 6,000, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 shift. And again, our boost levels, guys, look good all the way through. And same with fueling. And let's look at timing. Everything looks good. And these cars, it's called closed loop. They run in at wide open throttle. What that means is previous GM cars, like Corvettes, Camaros, they run in closed loop at idle and driving, meaning it tries to meet stoic air fuel, it corrects for it. It adds fuel or takes away fuel, just normal idle and driving. But once you go wide open throttle, whatever the tune is set for, that's what fueling you're gonna get. It's not gonna add fuel or take away fuel. Well, the way these run is in closed loop all the time. Idle and cruising, and then also wide open throttle. We set a target air fuel, it will add or subtract to try to hit that target air fuel ratio. But the goal is to have the tune as perfect as possible so that it does not have to add or subtract no more than 5% fuel, in my opinion. I've seen cars that come in that they're adding 20-30% fuel and the car will still run, but they will drive a lot better when you have the fuel trims correct. And then also, in case something changes at wide open throttle, you don't want it to have to correct so much, adding or taking away. But enough rant on that, guys. Sorry, but Mr. Lee, him and his wife, they're coming in town from Austin to pick this thing up, taking it to a car show tonight. So I just wanted to make 1 or 2 little pulls, make sure everything looks good, and it does. And this thing sounds sick as shit. It's hard to describe driving a SUV that is so comfortable, but yet at the same time, you sound like you're in a Corvette driving it. Incredible vehicle. So again, I'm gonna look this over one more time, make any changes if need be, but right now it looks excellent. Get it back to the shop, get it cleaned up, and hopefully maybe y'all can see Mr. Lee and his wife's expression when they come and pick it up. If not, we'll end this video here, guys. Again, comment below, let me know what y'all think about this platform, and if y'all have any questions, comment below. Until next time, guys. Yeah, y'all saw it from a dig. This thing, even from a low roll, is so much fun. Incredible, just the torque it makes. As heavy as these things are, it is so much fun to drive. Oh, fuck it. All right, y'all saw it from a dig how well it runs, but this thing, even from a low roll, is so much fun. I mean, that is so sick. Anyone riding this thing, you can have 6 people in this car and it's just gonna throw them right in the back of the seat. It is a blast to drive. So again, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna shut up, and I hope y'all enjoyed this, guys. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Give it a like if you liked it so far. And please turn on bell notifications for future content, as we have cool stuff in the pipeline that you're going to want to see. And as always, please comment below.